How do you know if someone is vegan? Don't worry, they'll tell you.
Yes, so today we're going to be taking a look at the idea that vegans are annoying. I say we, but really you're going to be listening to my good friend Carlos. This is actually the second video I've made that Carlos, aka Ultrarotom, has written and narrated. So if you've not seen the first, that link is in the description, as well as links to where you can follow Carlos online. So without further ado, I will pass you over now.
We live in a society where animal exploitation is perfectly legal and socially acceptable, and yet vegans talk of what happens to animals as a moral emergency. Generally speaking, that can be all it takes for someone to be labeled as annoying because simply the fact that what's coming out of their mouths is against the norm. I mean, let's be honest, who can legitimately say they enjoy hearing uncomfortable truths and be held accountable for actions that they're not putting much thought into? When a non-vegan hears someone condemning their actions, even in the nicest way possible, without trying to pass judgment, it can lead to feelings of guilt. And since the cause of that guilt, in this case, is what the vegan is saying, the person unfairly takes their frustration directly at the vegan. Yeah, the vegan did indeed say something that they didn't enjoy hearing, but they didn't realize it was their own conscience who made them feel that way, not the vegan. It was a statement, a fact. It's not the vegan's fault that that fact exists. Imagine you turn on the news every day and some man constantly tells you that the weather is going to be bad.
But the rest of today is only fucking dreadful. Have a look at this, look.
I mean, dang, that dude is so annoying and negative. Almost as bad as vegans who shove slaughterhouse footage down everyone's throats. Because in the end, we know it's vegans, the ones who are there torturing and killing the animals.
6 months old when they were forced into a carbon dioxide gas chamber!
Just like how the weatherman controls the weather and deliberately chooses the worst weather possible.
Rain pelting down from fucking all sides on top of us. No let up, you'll be drowned to the fucking bollocks.
And then both of them shove their dirty work in your face to spite you.
They burn from the inside out!
Is that really what happens? Yeah, right. Now, think of the vegan, just wanting to speak up for the animals and raise a bit of awareness about their cause. They say something, and then what do you know, they're being accused of being annoying. Sometimes the vegan may wonder, oh man, what did I do wrong? Was I rude without realizing? But really no, it's just the nature of being the one demanding accountability. Someone who's maybe a new vegan though, new to animal rights, they're not necessarily going to know that, and they're likely to keep wondering what they did wrong, and maybe even question the effectiveness of being an advocate for the animals. There are notable double standards when it comes to vegans and non-vegans. The general reaction clearly isn't the same. For example, there are billions of dollars involved in meat industry propaganda. There are McDonald's, Burger King, and steakhouse ads everywhere. And I don't see anyone spending the same energy complaining about how they're bothersome and repetitive. We are not telling others, I told you a million times already. Go watch Dragon Ball, now. Or, fuck dude, why haven't you started playing basketball yet? Go play basketball right now or else I'll crush your ass. It's not a personal thing with no real implications. It involves the lives of the animals. It's something that's serious and impersonal. The actions of non-vegans are violent. They perpetuate discrimination between animal species, and in the end, they kill trillions of animals per year. Yes, trillions. And as a really little small bonus, it also has serious consequences for the planet and causes pandemics. But nah, that's no big deal, right? It's more of a personal choice kind of thing. The real concern are the vegans annoying the hell out of you. Going back to what I said about double standards, there are many political movements and righteous causes that only the most anti-progressive people who sometimes have the worst intentions, would complain about being annoying and repetitive. In fact, with many other causes, advocates are actively encouraged to be loud, proud, and annoying about it. And criticizing those who stay silent is fair game. Obviously, I agree with this attitude towards rights movements, but what we need to change is treating veganism the same way. I suppose that the first causes that came to your mind when I mentioned rights movements were probably LGBT rights, Black Lives Matter, and feminism. Exclusively human rights issues. Am I right? But even if we stay on the topic of non-human animals, I remember that people who dedicate their lives to helping dogs and cats can do so to the same degree that vegans talk about other species of animals, or even more so, and never face the same accusations of being annoying. Consider also environmental activism. No progressive person gets mad at environmentalists and tells them to shut up, right? Well, what if the environmentalist starts to hold you accountable by talking about how meat and dairy are ruining the planet? Yeah, right. Reality is that vegans are only deemed as preachy, judgmental, and sometimes even as rude and bad people because we remind others of the harm they're causing. They want to silence and gaslight us. They want to be seen as good people in the eyes of the society and to stay away from moral judgment even if what they're doing is wrong. More than anything, they don't want to give up their convenience and personal pleasure if they can help it. Why give up bacon for the sake of pigs if no person is going to criticize you for paying the pigs to be murdered? Screw the victim, as long as causing harm doesn't damage your reputation, just carry on. If you are the one who's paying for animal abuse, who are you to tell those who are protesting against it when is it too much? Since when did the opinion of the oppressor count for anything when it comes to speaking up against injustice? If you are more concerned about activists than the injustice itself, it really shows which side you've chosen. If you realized how big the injustice is, you wouldn't condemn the vegans for speaking too much about it. Finally, I want to try looking at this whole thing from another angle, that being that it's actually far more annoying for vegans than it is for non-vegans. Let me tell you, we wish we didn't have to keep talking about veganism every damn day, always repeating the same sentence over and over again, and answering the same questions we've heard so many times before. We aren't having a good time trying to tell other people to change their lives, but if we are not to speak up for the rights of non-human animals, then who will? So yes, being an animal rights advocate gets repetitive and frustrating for vegans at times, especially because we care deeply and are dedicated to it, yet so often get dismissed or ignored. If you think a vegan holding you accountable is annoying, try waking up every morning, realizing the injustice is still there, and that your family members and friends still participate in it even after you explain to them why they should stop. That is the kind of annoying that can start to really bring you down. And yet, it's still nothing compared to what the animals endure. For a conclusion, my advice to vegans who are concerned about being negatively labeled is this. Don't ever stay silent, and don't fall for people who want you to stop speaking up for the animals. The animals desperately need you to be preachy and to make some noise. If you were the victim, I bet you'd want the activists to be even louder. And each person that you manage to bring to the animal rights cause will also go on to make the difference for the animals as well. More than ever, we need to be preachy. And for the non-vegans watching this, if you are disappointed because we speak too much about veganism, get ready because there's much more to come. What we currently do is nothing compared to how it is supposed to be.
He's right, you know. People need to get used to hearing about animal rights.
Especially from me.
As the animal liberation movement is the fastest growing social justice movement of our generation. We're not going anywhere. So if you're annoyed by vegans and animal rights activists, too bad. If you've stuck with us to the end of this video, I want to give you a huge thank you and remind you to subscribe to the channel to catch future videos. Not every video I upload is going to be similar to this one necessarily, but they'll always be about animal rights or related to veganism somehow. So if that stuff interests you, or if you just want to support a fellow Vagoon, then stick around. Until those future videos though, if you're vegan, continue being annoying. And if you're not yet vegan, please hurry up. We're all here waiting for you.